Well, good morning, June 23rd. Couple minutes before open here, I got my 5 minute compressed up here. Yesterday, market pushed up at the open. Actually, it kind of went, we kind of got some nice movement in both directions at the open. I think we popped at the open, and then we had a big pullback to the open, and then we pushed up, and then we pulled back, and then it was kind of just a nice push up all morning. Finally broke support about 11:30, and then we hung around, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, went sideways, and then evening session it popped again, and then just kind of had a nice little push to finish, and then we've kind of been in a little bit of a drop here since 2:30. So we're at all-time highs, so we have nothing really to look at in the sense of past areas. I'm gonna leave that as the high of the market. Might throw something in here, just kind of marking areas of resistance from yesterday. This was an area that took a while to get through. So we could see a bit of a range here this morning. We could obviously go make higher highs and just trend up all day. We could come back and test this area. Another potential area to test would be here. I'll pull this up on a tick chart too and see what it looks like, but that's just kind of my quick analysis here this morning. Maybe a little bit of divergence between these similar highs, and we've got a little bit of a lower high on the RSI. Not quite as high, but significantly lower high. So my gut tells me we're going to drop at the open. That's what I'm thinking. Let's grab our 20 here and take a quick look. Where was that now? Somewhere maybe right in there. And the next spot that I'm just looking at my 5 minute and marking up where I felt these areas were, and they just show up a little cleaner on the tick charts. Oh, right in there. Okay. All right, well, that's kind of what I've got drawn out here for this morning. Let's see what happens. I'm going to pause and come back here at market open. Just 1 minute into the open here. A little bit of chop sideways right at the open. And a bit of a push up here. So overnight high was 314-ish. I thought we might test that at the open or down to a couple resistance areas, 230, 175. And then just kind of play it from there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deep 61.
Yeah. Wanted to buy that. I couldn't get my 5 set up fast enough. Wait, see what we get for a pullback here.
A little erratic here this morning.
Yeah.
I usually don't play in the first 5-minute candle.
I just entered a long.
In and out?
Yeah.
I thought you did.
On that pullback on the 10
Yep.
and the 5 setup, nice.
Beauty.
I increased my targets to, because I looked at those 2 trades and both of them were 40 tick trades.
What did you go with today?
10 and 15. Like, so I had a really good chat with Rand about this stuff, about he's gonna send me this stuff that was 2 R's the menu for what we're doing right now. He said this is the way to do it, but because he knows lots of guys that have done these work for prop firms like what we're doing, and basically, but he said after that, once you get up to your 1 to 2% risk per trade account, if you've got enough in that, he says you never enter a trade unless it's a 2R. And then after that, 3R, 4R, he says actually 3R, 4R, unless you manage it properly, you're actually inviting black swan event. 3R, you're inviting it. 4R, you're going to C1.
Yeah. So what's your targets today?
10 and 15.
What were they yesterday?
5 and 10.
Oh.
On 4 contracts.
Right.
Yeah. And today would have been, that was a good trade. Because I felt like it's going to push to the top. I would have got my 60 ticks out of that. No problem. Yeah. So I'm $104 away from making my target.
How many trading days do you have in?
This is day 6, so I'm gonna switch to
4 more.
Yeah. So I'll get 2 more. I don't know. I might just go back to 5 and 10.
I go 5 and 10 with 2 contracts.
Yeah, yeah, and then your hit rate's gonna be probably 90% plus. But you need to win them all because when you lose one, it'll take 4 or 5 to get back. I want to get to. I'll probably just I'll probably just leave it where it's at.
What's that?
I'll just leave it where it's at. Like that's a $235 trade. So if I just keep doing that, it's a high probability trade.
Yeah.
Targets. Just keep doing that. Oh,
Boy, mine has really slowed down. Oh, I just had a.
Connection lost.
I just lost connection there. You still there?
hello?
I just had a connection issue there.
Yeah, I heard you when it came back. It just obviously cut out your audio.
What do you have for price?
Sitting at 91.25. Down in there, 93. Is that where you're at?
Mm-hmm. 90, 91,
Yeah.
90, 89, 90. Looking long right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think pull back. Oh, it's gonna break this area. RSI has definitely got energy to go, keep going, at least to the high, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Except for when it does that. The 10 is looking weaker, but
It's bouncing off a 50 retracement from that
mm-hmm.
last pivot.
Mm-hmm. Some divergence down on the 20.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting because this I feel like this will go up and retest that high, but will it pull back to a 61 before it does it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you enter off a 50, get taken out, and then it goes up. I think it's gonna shoot up when it does. Oh, it's an entry right there.
Mm-hmm. Too extended.
On the 10, you think?
And the 5, I think. Need a little pullback.
Yeah, it's bumping up against that support.
I don't know if I want to take this into support.
Yeah, this is one that might be worth waiting.
I'm gonna pass.
break support, then pull back.
Yeah, like that was a beautiful pullback and perfect pullback to the 50 RSI that met all the requirements. However, you're taking it right into support.
Oh, punctured it.
And what would have happened there? You would have got about 20 ticks. And then you'd be all
Be
the
in
way
the
back to your
trade.
entry. Good non-trade. Okay, now you've pulled back again to the 50 RSI.
And divergence on the 20. This is one to sit out.
I just went long on that second opportunity.
Are you still in?
No, I'm stopped. I liked it because it broke support and then pulled back and reset the RSI. I wonder if it just needed that bigger pullback. Now I don't really like the way the 10 looks, even if this does go up. I couldn't have entered. I literally got filled at the very top of that wick down bar.
Because that's where it's set up on my chart too. That's if I was going to enter, that's where I would enter.
Yeah, like on my 5, I never was one tick into the profit there. That 100% went the other way. Boy, oh boy. I am having a tough go here. Wowzers. I liked it. I mean, man. I guess if I look back now, I probably don't love my 5.
Can you tell me where you entered exactly?
Yeah, I got filled at the top of the wick down bar on that second push.
Yeah.
946.
Yeah, and if you look at the 10, but you couldn't have saw that then. There's divergence showed up right there.
Yeah, I just saw the second pullback to the 50 RSI and the wick up bar, and that's when I clicked. And then it became a dual bar reversal and went down. I think it needed to, I don't know what it needed, but
I don't know if it, I think that might be it for up. This might
maybe,
be all it could do.
Maybe.
And now we're going to range down, or we're going to have a drop because it's sure working its ass off.
There's divergence on the 20 now for sure to go down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a little break here. All right, we are back. Still looking for that long trade. I entered this one and I couldn't have entered in a worse spot. I seen it pull back for a second time to the 50 RSI after breaking support and thought that was going to be the push, but the market had different ideas, so we're both kind of thinking that it needs to go up to retest the overnight highs. So if we get a push and a pullback here, that's what I'd look for.
I'm back.
Right on.
I know. I took a few. Thanks.
Pullback here would look good for a long.
Yeah, something right into a 50 or something like that.
Or
even a 38 would work, I think. Oh, wow.
Ooh. Nice little shot. Come on. We know it's going to go up there. Give us a chance. Come on, don't go all the way there without us.
Well, I'd be happy if it broke through the high and pulled back to it. I'd go long again.
Yeah. Well, that's what it looks like it's going to do.
Yeah, it's there right now. 1375. Not quite.
But never buy one of these Polar wrist heart monitors.
Don't?
Don't buy that.
No good?
The one to get is I can't remember. Rand told me it's a chest one. I'm gonna get it, and then there's an app you get on your phone. This thing's terrible. It works maybe 50% of the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's always it disconnects, and then it's so hard to get reconnected. You got to reset everything. So I ordered the chest one. I think it might be okay for like working out and stuff, but if you get more than 3 feet from your phone, it disconnects. There, it just paid it. It just posted a new high. Wow, came back to 50 and just took off.
Not quite a 38 there. $38, just about a 50. Just touching the 50 line. Our side's back to the 20, or back to the 50 on the 20.
And pivoting where it took off last time, which is an indicator where it wants to go up again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little like dual bar reversal on the 10 here. I'm long.
I sat that one out. It looks
Target
good,
is 311. I closed it. I did not like it. And I regret closing it.
It was a hard. That was a hard trade, man.
Well, I loved it when I entered it.
Yeah. So did
And
I.
then see the divergence on the 5?
Well,
And
I
I'm
saw
like,
that. Yeah.
my trades, I don't know why I'm not getting my trades, but my trades are usually, well, like
Pretty.
20 seconds. If I find the right entry, it's just like a quick zip to target. And this still hasn't hit target. It hit 20 ticks. And my stop would have been taken out. So I guess that was a good decision to close in $10 of profit. But
No, I think it
that was a
was.
golden setup.
Yeah, but this market structure today, like, look at. I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's not good clean. It's a good clean push. Then it works. It's like look at it at the open. It made a good clean push and a pull. Then it pushed hard and then it consolidated for
Hmm
15 minutes. Then it dropped. Then it pushed hard. Then it's dropped back to here. Now we're back into whatever this is.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the 20 and I go, okay, this is a perfect push pull, 50% pullback. Okay, so the 20 is good. 20 is beautiful. The 10, we need to get the EMAs back in place. And we
But
need to
how?
pull back to the 50
But
RSI.
but here's my theory and thinking on this price action trading now. Okay, so we pushed up to the high, actually broke it by a couple points or a point and a half.
Hmm
Then it was rejected. So to me, what now that level has rejected it, I'm almost in the point now where I'm like, okay, I'm not long anymore until I see that
Mm,
break it and pull back.
fair enough.
And that's what helped me yesterday. I
Yep.
watched this YouTube video on this guy and he's what he's talking about. So now I would actually be
You're more
short,
short bias now. That's fair.
probably.
I mean, that might have been it for
Yeah,
up.
because you saw how hard it pushed up there in your
Yeah.
trade. That was on the 10, that was a 61. And when
Yeah.
it finally set up here on my chart, I could have entered a short right at on that. There's a short entry, beautiful pullback, and at 10:10.
My 20's not ready for a short.
Yeah. 43 ticks, right? It would have cleared 43. Now it's pulling back again, but I don't. I'm just, and this could be an ABC too.
Yeah,
To go still.
yeah. And maybe that's what's got me the last few days is just if I had a 20 tick target, I would have got filled. And maybe I need to shrink my target. I don't know. I just think like I what you're doing, I love what you're doing with your evaluation. But for regular trading, like how do you not get 30 ticks on the NAS?
Well, no, every trade I've taken there in the last 3 days would have cleared the 2R, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, why don't I just, now that I'm 5 days in, just trade. I've got my psychological trade plan, 2 trades per day, 10-minute breaks, every 10 minutes a step back from the market, and two 20 to 25-minute sessions, which I'm in my second one right now. So I got 10 more minutes of trading, and I'm out for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Rand about that. He says that's about the sanest thing you've said since I met you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But he said, anybody, he goes, I've talked to thousands of traders, and anybody who does this full time and does it professionally with size does exactly that. He goes, and if you start the science of it, the glucose, he goes, my traders are max hour in front of the screen. He goes, your brain just burns through glucose so fast your brain
Mm-hmm.
is not functioning after an hour in front of the screen. This is intense stuff.
Oh, I agree.
So I'm finding now, if I properly prep and get into a good assessment prior to the open, there's probably going to be 1 to 2 setups, and if not, and on a 2 trade window every day, 0 to 2 trades, I should say. The law of averages and law of large numbers says if you stick to that trade plan with this method, then you're going to be fine on a 2R. 2R plus. So I might switch to a 40 to 50. I'm not going to change anything, I don't think, until I pass this evaluation. But then part of me is going, well, why bother? Just do it. Do 40 and a 50. Right?
Well, I don't know. There's multiple ways to look at it.
Or a 30 and a 50, and then you get your two, and then it averages to 40. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
the way that I look at this, what you're doing right now with the evaluation, I look at it as a test. Yes, you're trading, and ideally you would like to just do it the same way. But when my experience with tests in life are, I have yet to take a test that ever related to my job.
Yeah, that's so true.
And
So
the
true.
best
Yeah.
advice I ever got was when you take a course or you do school or whatever, and essentially you're testing right now for a course. You study to pass the test. You don't study to learn it because you're going to learn it on the job. You're not going to learn it in the book. But you have to pass the test. So learn how to pass the test. Don't try to study to learn the material. And that was some of the most valuable information that I ever received when it comes to tests. And this is you're in a test right now. And I failed my evaluation multiple times trying to figure out what kind of strategy to implement. And once I got halfway through my test, I went, I
Oh,
need to
that's
just
it.
fucking pass this test instead
Yeah,
of
that
worrying
trip.
about my trading. So once
Yeah.
I was on day 6, I had passed my test, and then it was like, oh, I should just keep going. And then I'm like, no, don't get stupid here. Just pass the test.
And now I feel like now it's got some power to push up, a pull back now, a push up to, and then a pull, and then a would break the top. But look at the RSI starting to, you know,
RSI on
it's,
the 20 is 100% matching price action.
yeah, it's evening out. Yeah,
Just did an ABC.
it's exactly what it did. Yeah, there was a nice setup there. pullback on the 10 RSI I didn't like though from the previous, but with the mini ABC down.
This is even better now.
Yeah, but it's not breaking that. It's not breaking support or resistance.
Not on that push.
Keeps getting rejected.
RSI on the 20 is still following price action. It made a higher high, and so did RSI. Not really getting much divergence. Everything's kind of following price. So I'm not getting an indication of what it wants to do. Okay, on the 10 from that last less significant pivot at 10:14:59.
Yeah.
Price action just made a lower high, and RSI made a lower low. That's the only little bit of a clue that I'm seeing. Other than that, the RSI is really following price action.
Well, that's my numbers, so I'm done. Just got filled. I just took a long on Sim and got filled into support, into resistance.
Yeah, there's definitely divergence now.
But I feel like it's gonna break this high now. This is test number. This will be test number 3. And it's not getting big enough pull. I just don't feel like it's getting big enough pullbacks. If it hits it this time and rejects, I feel like I'll be interested to see what price does. I feel like it's either going to do a significant pullback, or it's just going to get through, pull back, and go up another, however many points to the next. I don't even know what do you do after this? Like just a fib extension, because this is all time high.
Yeah, well, you don't have any other levels to look at, yeah.
I literally got filled on the top of the wick bar on my second target there. I'd still be in the trade. Well, it'd be.
Man, just down to a grind here.
Yeah.
Tough sledding.
All right, that's it for me today, man.
Shut her down.
Yeah, I'm
Good
doing.
man.
I want to be able to stick to this trade plan at least at least get to a week and be able to tell Rand I stuck to it because I can't do chapter 6 until I demonstrate this.
Good.
So
Awesome, man. Good work.
yeah, I'll shoot you a text later because I want to chat with you about some stuff, anyways.
Sure.
Okay, take it
Have
easy,
a good
man.
day.
Bye.
Bye. Well, I'm gonna stick it out here a few more minutes. I don't know that I feel very confident that there's gonna be another trade. I feel like the market just wants to work its way up, but I just it just looks like it's trying too hard. Like it's seriously running out of steam. Got quite a bit of divergence down in the 20 here. Price is a little off the high here, and we've just built a wall of support on RSI. But we're still getting higher highs. Maybe now we'll get a work the other way. Definitely feel stronger about the drop right now. I'm actually going to take a 5-minute break here. I'll be back. Well, I came back from a little coffee break, and long story short, I never got the recording going again before I took this trade, this short trade. I tightened up my target to 20 ticks just because of what has been happening to me. In reality, it's going to go to 30, but I just took 20 here. Over a minute for 20 ticks, just not normal for how I generally trade. Just that's what the market's been doing. Here's my 5-tick chart. So, and what happened was I think I went 19 ticks in a quick burst. Yeah, I went 19 ticks in 6 seconds, and then had to go all the way back to minus like 4 ticks, and just a grind. This trade come together really nice right here, and when I clicked, the market jumped. It didn't slip. It wasn't market slippage or data slippage, but right as I got in, it's like a whole bunch of people got in on this trade, and the market just jumped a couple bars. So I should have been filled up here, and then I would have been filled in a timely manner, but how this one really set up for me was I originally run a little fib from here to here, and that's a 38. Then it just barely made a lower low, and it's like, okay, this might be one of those ugly ABCs, I call them, where an ABC should go up, down, but not make a lower low, and then up and make a higher high, and that would be an ABC, and it usually makes a higher fib. But what happened here, in my opinion, was all it did was retest the same fib and created a little area of support. So all I needed was a good setup on the 5. And going back to the 5, this little dual bar reversal was it. And then this was the entry, and I hesitated, probably because of the amount of losses I've taken in a row. And then my mind was made up here, and when I clicked, I got market jumped here. So, anyways, got my trade, happy. Didn't manage it very well. I was prepared to close the whole time. I didn't have the same amount of confidence I normally have in my trade. It's not, part of it is because of the amount of losses I've taken in a row. Like I had taken 3 full stops in a row and probably 3 or 4 partial stops in a row, like break even stops. Not where you necessarily lose money, but you don't make money. And so a little bit of a confidence, I don't want to say confidence killer, but a little hard on my confidence. And then the market just pushing very abnormally was had me questioning some things. So again, another tough day. Happy with my trades. I took this long here. I ended up just getting 2 ticks of profit. I closed it. In hindsight, it was a great close. It went to 20 ticks and reversed. This setup was absolutely, I thought, beautiful. But like Warren mentioned, we weren't, the market didn't need to go test this again. So maybe shouldn't even have been looking for a long there. And then this one here, same thing. I think I was so biased to the long side and lost sight of the fact that we were very much pushing into support, or I should say resistance, and probably needed to have a bit of a short biased almost all morning. Even though the market pushed up, it's like a guy almost should have been maybe looking short. I don't know. Everything's easier in hindsight. So, but I think I'm going to call it a day. I do want to see this one here. You know what? I didn't even have a fib on this, but that was target too, right? That's my target, 61.76. Someone could probably argue that you could run the same little target here for another 20 tick trade. And it's hit it, so likely to gonna pull back here. Anyways, I'm not gonna grind it out anymore. I'm gonna call it there. It's 10:37 Eastern time. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. See if I can gain some followers here on YouTube. Trying to bring you the best content I can and show you my journey. I've been day trading for about a year and a half now. Been a roller coaster ride, ups and downs, and I feel pretty solid about where I'm at right now. A lot more flat. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow.